My thoughts on Carillion. Carillion was spun out of Tarmac in 1999. It was a huge contracting business in its own right at that time, but it then went on a further £1 billion buy-in spree. It went on to buy John Molam, Alfred McAlpine and Eager. Between them, those businesses cost it a further £1 billion. And yet, there are signs that the management of Carillion never really got to grips with properly integrating those businesses. And over time, despite the sort of significant increase in the size of the business and turnover, they never really managed to generate earnings growth. That was relatively flat. Also, other signs in the accounts that all was not well was that the trade debtors fell as a percentage of turnover, whereas work in progress rose. Now, this is a sign that the company is struggling to agree the value of the work that's being done on its various contracts, which in turn could be interpreted to be a failing management, and ultimately the company in 2017 was forced to write off 1 billion of the 1.6 billion that it was allocating to this particular value within its balance sheet. So there'd been management failure over a number of years that probably weren't properly recognised until 2017. Once these failings were recognised, then the funders to the business, seeing this huge write-off, would have started to also have concerns and probably start to withdraw the amount of support and lending that was there. And same with trade creditors, probably also cutting the amount of credit they offered. These would have put Carillion into a downward spiral. Also, the company had a pension fund deficit of over £500 million, and it had a contractual dispute with the Qataris over the building of the World Cup stadiums, where it felt that the Qataris owed approximately 250 million, whereas the Qataris felt that they were probably owed 250 million really in terms of disputes as to what had been done on the contracts and what had been paid for. All these factors together meant that Carillion ended up with a 1.5 billion debt pile, and it finished with only 30 million in the bank. Ultimately, there was so little funds left in the company, about 30 million, that it couldn't afford to pay for administrators to oversee the winding up of its affairs. It had to go into compulsory liquidation, and the official receiver was appointed to oversee its final winding up, although it did contract a lot of this work to PwC.